Two of the largest divisions in IDPA are carry optics and compact carry pistols. What happens when we bring these two together? Welcome to the second season of Can We Chat? This podcast is made possible by LAX Ammunition, Southern California's largest ammo retailer with stores in Inglewood, Huntington Beach, and San Diego. Responsible practice at an economical rate without giving up quality and safety. What's going on? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and inform you of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Well, good morning, YouTube. Joining me today is my partner in crime, the Viking. Hey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, what a bizarre weekend.
Whew, that was really strange.
I didn't know the conditions of the range until we got there, and
It was actually better than I thought.
yes,
It really
by
was.
far.
There wasn't no lakes. Just it was dry enough to where there was no dust, which was
pudding.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pudding.
it's not
The best way
complaining.
I could describe it was just pudding.
Yeah,
So, but
I mean, luckily we were able to kind of move the stages around to where we weren't getting stomped through.
Yeah.
The mags weren't completely in the mud.
so there it was just I believe there was just one bay that was it was on the way in, but we were out. The stage was set up beyond that, so there was no issues there. So
Yeah, it was a little pathway, so
yeah, it looked pretty
no
good.
one had to have any lifeboats.
But we set up in the fog and the darkness. I couldn't see anything. There were a couple stages that I apologize for, but there were some stage issues that should have been cleaned up, but I just couldn't see them. I only had a headlamp, so.
It's okay. We'll blame you anyway.
Okay, I know. So we had a special guest from Las Vegas, right? So
Yeah,
he
you had to-
decided to grace us with his presence. I was shocked. I was like, wait, what?
So was I, especially knowing that he was actually coming out, and then, it's always like, oh, until someone's actually out here.
Yeah,
And then, actually being able to go out and have some
Yeah.
dinner with him and
that
get some time outside of the range.
what
was
a
always
treat.
nice.
Most
Yeah.
of my attention was kind of drawn toward that direction, and I think that's why things started to happen when it did on game day. So.
Yeah, I mean, how do you forget the game day ball?
Oh my gosh, my mags. So my mags are situated in a Tupperware box with the ammo. I don't know why I do that. It's just everything's shoved into a carry-on luggage. I just grabbed the carry-on luggage. I just forgot to look inside it, right? So, which was a huge, well,
It's a rookie mistake.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think, but it is something we've all done at least once. If you haven't, it's a matter of time.
It's not if, it's when. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I haven't forgotten my mags. I have forgotten my ammo. But luckily, Dan, we all shoot the same ammo, so and usually we always bring more than enough for not only yourself, everybody else around you.
Yeah,
So
the
was
team
able to get bailed out.
The team came in together. Robert was the closest because he lives out there, and he sat there and goes, "Huh?" So he just turned around and went home, and he got another gun for me and ammo, and brought all that to me. And I'm like, "Oh man, this is crazy." So I had the opportunity to shoot. Well, he's been trying to get me to shoot his 1911 for like a years, right? Because it's ported, right? Carry optics, and I got to do mag changes with the single stack mags, right?
A little more interesting. Huh?
Oh man, that got spicy, man.
Almost having bug flashbacks.
Well, it's one of those things. I didn't know that there's a specific way to put those rounds in, and if you don't lock them all the way back, right, they're going to stovepipe on the way in.
They definitely can.
And I'm like, well, what good is that?
Because it's fun.
Right. So I'm used to shooting 40. His was 9, and he sat there and he goes, now, don't overdrive it, right? Because he knows that I love squeezing on a gun, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's exactly what I was doing. So I was shooting a little low.
I mean, at the same time, it's a brand new gun. You've never shot that gun before, so it's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, it was that A1, right? 1911. Yeah. But what a fine gun. And then I had the opportunity to check out what the porting was all about.
Yeah. How'd you like it?
Other than the choo-choo train,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I can take it or leave it. It was
Different experience. So you do it again. Thinking about doing it to another gun.
it was definitely louder.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I didn't notice. Well, they were telling me that the 9mm is a little more snappier, and in this particular case, I didn't really notice too much about it. So I assume that that's the porting.
It can be. I mean, the redirection of the gases definitely plays a huge factor into it, but it also is a very audible deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. So, but yeah, that worked out pretty good. I thought. So, what do you think about the bizarre stages?
That was definitely one for the books. I think it was. If I wouldn't have known any better and I showed up to this match, I would have thought that, someone,
Right.
dog ate someone's homework, got bits and pieces of it.
Well, I mean, the last match we had to postpone because of horrible weather.
Yeah.
And so this was the same match. So this is the match that we should have
Oh,
shot.
so this is the makeup that we should have done.
Yeah. So we did a lot of strong hand or weak hand and
A lot.
with a new gun, right? And I sat there and oh man, this is just the wrong day to be doing that, right? And
Well, is there ever a right day to be doing something like this?
You know what? You're absolutely right. And I got to stop crying about it. I just got to just deal with it. I didn't do as well as I want to. Chris Shaw, he actually one of our teammates, he killed it, right? So, but he was. It wasn't like he was. Well, yeah, he was shooting fast too, but it was more like it
consistent.
Yeah.
It was just everything was just consistent.
Yeah,
you can't say anything else. I mean, it wasn't overly insanely fast where you just went, oh, he just cleared this up and you blinked.
Yeah.
But it was just so consistent all the way through. You didn't even notice how fast he actually was until the end.
Yeah, he came out to play.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely did.
And it didn't matter what type of bizarre stages were out there. He just sat there. Okay, well, this is another thing that we got to do, and he went and did it. Yeah, right. So, but oh man, so let's talk about the match, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of what we do here.
So this was the February 9th, 2025, cal-idpashooters.com, our local
club
practice,
match.
Yeah, our local club match. We went out there. There was 8 stages of craziness. You dominated. There were 3 stages out there that you came in first in your division. So that was 3, 4, and 8. 8 was pretty impressive. So that was just
odd.
That was just our warm. So we were 5 yards?
Yeah, it's about between 5 to 7 yards,
right?
Somewhere in there.
And
offhand only, and the low ready is a failure drill. So 2 to the body, 1 to the head.
2 to the body, 1 to the head. And I sat there and went, okay, let's just. But, so Chris, you guys just went bam, bam, bam. There's no pausing, no looking. You just went.
Well, I figured it was unlimited, so if I had to throw another shot or 2 at it, then
you just kept on going.
Yeah, and it just so happened it worked out great. So I was like, oh well, I guess I'll just stop right there.
Tell us about 3.
Well, I think it started off at 6, where my match already just went to hell.
Okay, so that was your first stage.
Yeah, it was the very first stage. So after coming off the nice little warm up deal, stage 6 just absolutely murdered me. So I was like, you know what, I have nothing to have for anybody at this point. So let's just go out, have fun, and shoot fast, and take some chances and have a great time. And yeah, that stage just fit right in my wheelhouse.
So by the time we got to 3, sun was out, right?
Yeah, sun was out.
This was
a nice little port that you had a start stick.
Yes.
And you had to run forward to the port. So kind of line myself up to where I could see that first target. So on the draw, moving up, you're already in position waiting for that first target. Well,
let's just take a look. We got footage of this. This is him shooting stage 3 at the local match. Wow. And I was there watching it the first time, and the second time looks faster.
Well, I didn't know exactly what to expect, and then I heard you just sitting there going, all right, I'm ready to film. I'm like, hold on. I mean, maybe you didn't do that, but I couldn't really tell if you were joking or not.
Yeah.
And then I actually didn't see any of the footage till this morning before I, got ready to come over here. So I was like, oh yeah, that actually looked kind of cool.
It's pretty solid. So you shooting through report, you're consistent. You moved. Your reload was good.
Yeah. Right. After the terrible tack load on, I think it was 7. Ooh, that was brutal.
Right. So
yeah, I mean, trying new things. You know, that's one thing local club matches are great for finding your weaknesses, and weakness is definitely on attack load right now. That was terrible.
So you actually shot it 11.43 seconds, 0 down with an ESP gun, which is very impressive, right? I tried to run you down with a carry optics. I was overdriving. I went 3 down, but still, I wasn't even close to your time.
At the same time, it's not your gun.
That has nothing to do with it, man.
It does have a little bit. You still gotta shoot it, but at the same time, it's what you shot that gun. What at that point, maybe 20 rounds.
It felt like, well, no, because I shoot the 2011, and I think the 2011 definitely has a little bit more grip.
Yeah, it's definitely wider. I mean, you're talking double stack versus single stack, so you're gonna have a completely different grip to it.
Yeah, and
different field and everything.
Definitely. So when I went in to lock into my grip, it was like there was like a little less gum, and I had to kind of squeeze a little bit more. But seventh overall, or for most accurate, which I thought was very impressive. So you're top 10 right there. Third place in your division, and then 11th overall with an ESP gun with a carry optics. There was actually another gentleman that Bobby shot ESP.
Yeah,
and he
killed it.
Yeah, top of the line. So they did very well with the bizarre stages. So,
I mean, that's one thing where ESP gun could potentially do very well in stages like that, because with a carry optic gun, if guys are shooting carry optics a little too fast and going from body to headshots and having multiple headshots in a row and trying to take your time, and not actually slowing down to make sure you're actually dots on the target, it can potentially mess you up because you're used to shooting so fast. Where ESP guys, you have to speed up, slow down. It's always a hurry up and wait.
So I noticed that when I was looking for I lost my red dot a couple times, and I noticed that it was low, right? And I had to bring it up a little bit, and mine's felt different. So, but I was looking, I'm like, oh, where'd the dot go? I try not to look at this.
It's still on.
It's crazy. But one of our subscribers chimed in. Shooter Ready 489. He was talking. He was talking smack. So he was talking about carry optics, carry optic bug, carry optic revolver, carry optic SSP. But we've been talking about for the past week,
for a little bit. And we actually did some experimenting last local club match. We had a little bit of time to kind of play around with.
Right.
So actually brought a little toy out and tried a couple things. So we did bring the AXG and put a little EPS carry on it and shot a couple stages with it.
Yes. So I sat there and I'm like, you know what? You didn't shoot very well. I think I demand a reshoot here. So he strapped on some extra holsters and went out there and just he did it as a favor for me, and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
But he strapped on his the Legion and went to town with it, right? Yeah. So you shot it with an ESP, and then you quickly came back and
reshot it with the CCP
carry optic gun. And how did you fare?
Surprisingly, I wasn't sure about the results, and to say that, I already shot the stage once, so kind of got in a rhythm of what I need to do.
All right.
Could it be seen as a slightly unfair advantage? But every single
disclaimer,
time,
right?
the YouTube disclaimer.
Yes.
But the 2 stages that I did strap the gun on and actually shoot, one stage with the ESP gun, I did have a malfunction, so that's kind of odd. But both times were actually 2 to 3 seconds faster.
Yeah. So the first stage was stage one. Stage one had a lot of body, and then you had to do head at the end, and which it really shined. So 3 seconds difference, right?
Yeah.
So I was
with taking an extra shot because I lost track because I was like, "There's no way I shot it this fast. I had to miss this one and put another round on it."
So this is actually him shooting the Legion. Is that? Would you consider that cheating, or what would you call that?
Considering that I'm not a carry optic shooter, do I play around with it a lot?
So
Yes.
that was his first time actually shooting the damn thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, I have shot. I think there was like a couple stages with an optic.
Yeah.
Just to kind of play around, like, oh, it's a Sunday, let's try something different, and play around with it. But I still have not shot an entire match with a carry optic gun.
Just for you, just step up there and just do your thing. It looked like you are actually a seasoned veteran shooting that gun. Did you have problems with the? Tell us what you experienced as far as finding the red dot.
So I've had enough experience playing around with the carry optic guns.
Okay.
And there's different training tips and techniques. Maybe a Viking tips.
Oh, I hear a Viking tip coming up. Okay.
But I've in the VR setups, I've usually use optics and iron sights and the Ace optic deals. But actually just dry fire practice and learning how to find your red dot and actually not really find it, but getting your nice draw stroke and actually perceiving the dot right where it should be every single time.
I would have to say that that's the hardest thing to learn. Initially.
It's training your brain and training your eyes.
As soon as you get past that, now we get to get into the fun.
Don't think, just do it.
Wow, because you sure just went ahead, just did it.
No, it was a lot of fun. It definitely, like I said, not being a carry optics guy and shooting carry optics other than just playing around.
Yeah,
I could definitely see the advantage of shooting very fast and having a lot of fun with it.
Because you definitely showed us. You actually did it a second time at my my request. You did it in the other stage. This is him shooting that. Let's take a look at that. Wow, that was insane.
It was a lot of fun.
So, whatever big difference between iron sights and the sights?
Huge difference. I mean, iron sights, you have to have at least at minimum 2 different focal planes. You have to,
you have
check,
to line
make sure
them.
your sights are lined up,
Yep.
make sure your sights are lined up to the target. Where
versus one,
an optic, your target focused the entire time.
a lot faster engagement.
Oh yeah, much faster.
Ooh.
I mean, you see the dot on the target and you squeeze. See the dot squeeze. It's just that simple and that easy, that fast.
Yeah.
Once you grasp the concept and actually no longer look at the dot and now look at the target the entire time, it's a game changer.
So a lot of the match directors, as well as distinguished masters in a lot of the subgroups, right? Bug, CCP, and so forth, are kind of chiming out and requesting a possibility of a optic in a subdivision, right? So
I definitely think it's something that IDPA should at least look into. Not saying that they have to do it, but at least look into it. Being that everybody carries these guns nowadays, you have large capacity compared to, guns of the past.
Yeah.
That are optic ready, optics cuts, and they're carrying these out every single day. And that's what the basis of this association does is for everyday carry. And this is something that is now modern. It's not just, a fad that has come in the last,
Right.
a couple weeks. This has been years.
Right. And that's a great point. Chad Cunningham, we were talking to him as a match director, right? And he sat there and he goes, well, it's one of those things that under the rules, that's what they're specifically talking about. Everyday carry. And that's exactly what everybody's starting to do nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Going
absolutely.
toward optics and so forth. I love your gun.
I do too.
It performs quite well.
I absolutely love it. And for the most part, other than recoil spring, it's all stock. I haven't done anything to it. I mean, you could say, yeah, I put an optic on it and a recoil spring. Everything else internally has been completely factory. I haven't changed anything on it. Not that I don't want to. It's just not necessarily needed at this point in time.
You think they can turn that into an SSP gun?
I mean, technically, well, with the integrated comp, I mean, if I got another slide for it, you actually could.
Yeah, change it out.
Change the slide. It could technically be an SSP gun.
I would have to say that's probably the most versatile gun that I've ever seen.
That is probably a pretty good assumption. I mean, could you in theory shoot many different divisions with it? Yeah.
The only other platform that I've seen was with a rifle. The Desert Tech. You can kind of interchange the barrels and the mags and all this other stuff. And I've never seen a handgun quite like that until now.
The 365s definitely have it done right.
Wow.
I mean, I really. Prior, I was a big Glock guy.
Yeah.
And the first time I shot a 365, I was like, I really don't even want to shoot my 43 anymore.
So, what do you think about CCP carry options for CCW and IDPA then?
Honestly, I think it's something that they need to bring in.
Yeah.
I mean, at least try it.
Okay.
At least try a CCP. You have carry optics. At least try another division to where, a bug gun will still fit in CCP.
Yeah.
Your CCP gun. So, I mean, you can have a little bit of crossover and actually do it that way. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily maybe not have a complete bug gun, but get CCP rules.
Right.
So your bug guns can go up and still have fun, still do it. You might be at a slight disadvantage as far as, grip, but, with the length and all that, it's close enough to where you could get a lot of these bug guns that are pretty damn close to the CCP division. That being said, I think there should be 2 divisions carry optics and have a lot of fun with it.
So iron sights and or optional optics and iron
I think
sights,
it should be 2 different divisions. So just like ESP, like you have your carry optic guns, they're basically ESP guns with an optic. Do the same thing with CCP.
All right, well said.
And CCP carry optic.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a compact carry optic. So basically CCP rules with an optic on it.
There you have it. Straight from the Viking. We'll see exactly where this goes. I'll keep you guys updated on if IDPA wants to go in there and do a little research and perhaps allow some other things. I'm sure this would be a specialty division in specialty
I mean, even
matches,
if they did
right?
as a specialty division for a little bit and see the popularity of it.
Oh, they would definitely see. Yeah, absolutely. The numbers would talk for themselves, I'm sure.
If you think about it this way, if you want to go to the basis of the fundamental rules of IDPA, we're not carrying our carry optic guns out in the streets every day.
No.
We're carrying guns like this.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, I definitely think they should have that division.
So this our final word was holstering, right? So Chad actually carries Appendix.
Yeah.
What do you think about Appendix?
I think for guys that are well versed and been shooting for a while, and they choose to, it's a great option. Me personally, not my favorite option. Not saying that it's not an option. It's a tool in the toolbox, and should you don't go to a mechanic that just has a crescent wrench and go, hey, I'm going to fix your car.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's something that, depending on comfort level and what you want to do and what you're trying to accomplish, it is a viable option.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like when we went to Vegas, we don't at our local club matches get to see a lot of the Appendix guys.
Yeah, but there were a lot of the elite
Lightning
guys.
fast.
And
a lot of those guys are really fast and they have it down. Now, do I think that some of the newer novice shooters should do this?
Okay.
Probably not.
Well said.
And that's something that until we figure out how to regulate, some guy that's never shot a match and, amped up and,
Right.
nervous as all hell.
Yeah.
That's could be a very dangerous
Right.
proposition
Not
to shoot
not
a
just
match
for the shooter, but
for others around.
yeah, and that's what we got to worry about.
Yeah. You're talking anywhere from a spectator to another competitor to SO, CSO, anybody around.
Yeah.
That's a potential danger,
Yeah,
and not only
right,
to
right.
himself.
And that's a trauma that not a lot of people can deal with on the fly. So that won't end well.
No.
Right? So
Do I see both sides of the coin? Yes.
okay.
Is that individual, if he does have a CCW, gonna probably carry that way anyway? Yes.
Yeah.
So should he practice? Yeah, but not with that many people around and drawing in and out constantly. I think
Well
it
said.
needs to
Okay.
be some kind of regulations to it. And I may be a little bit old school, but at the same time, we're out there to have fun and be
Yeah,
safe.
Right.
And if a round just happens to pop off on the side of you, it's a lot better than in the media.
Right. Fair enough. So your final thoughts on the weekend?
I had a great time, even though it was a little bizarre for the most part. And forgetting gear,
I don't know.
just bizarre stages.
I even make videos on setting up rucksack, right? Grab one and go. It was just one of those things that if you don't prepare it, right, it's not going to work as intended, and exactly didn't do
Looking
that.
at your gear, checking it twice.
Oh my
making sure
God.
you're
I sat
gonna-
there, I'm like, but I had an extra holster in there.
for a gun that you didn't even have.
I think it was set up to go to the range. We were going to go to do 5x5 with Cynthia, and that didn't work out because of weather. We called it off, and I had all my stuff in for my the HK.
Okay.
And so I think that's what happened. But and then the week got busy, and then I got over that sickness, right? So I had the flu last 2 weeks, and finally got over that. And oh man, so it was just a busy time.
Yeah. Did you learn a lesson?
Boy, did I?
Yeah.
Always do. Well, a special shout out to our channel membership. This is your support, busy at work. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Anthony the Viking Vega.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.
Are you going to shoot carry optics?
Well, I was talking to Rickenbosch, and he's like, "You gonna shoot carry optics?" I'm like,
You know they don't want you to. You just stay in your lane.
"Just stay in my lane. Just look down.
Just stay in
keep
your
moving."
lane.
But it might be fun.